As you walk through the woods, you expect to see many things such as trees, bushes, rocks, birds, fallen leaves, and if you're lucky, maybe a deer. However, the people in a certain video experience something shocking. It makes me think about taking someone with me the next time I go into the woods. Once you read the list of what happened, you may also feel the same. Number 10. The Colt Family. Every family has its quirks and challenges, yet love often prevails. However, the Colt family situation was extraordinarily extreme. Discovered in the Australian wilderness, 38 individuals were found living in isolation, all resulting from generations of incest. Women had been bearing children with their direct relatives, leading to multiple generations of inbreeding. Unsurprisingly, many of these children had physical deformities and communicated using a unique, self-created language. Lacking basic amenities like running water and cut off from the outside world, their survival under such conditions was astonishing. The discovery of this family was initiated by a chilling incident. A local child overheard a conversation in the woods about a girl's pregnancy, with uncertainty about which of her brothers was the father. The task of providing counseling to these children was undoubtedly a challenging one, given their total isolation and the normalization of their living conditions in their eyes. Number 9. The Mysterious Man. In nearby Switzerland, people are dealing with a different type of mystery in the woods. A man dressed in a military outfit, cape and gas mask. He was first spotted around 10 years ago. Despite this and the fact that he supposedly takes that same path every day, nobody knows anything about him, and only one picture of him exists, which was very recently taken. Although he's never shown any aggression towards anyone that's had the misfortune of encountering him, he continues to strike fear into nearby residents who just want to know who he is and why he chooses to walk around like that. He's over 6 feet or nearly 2 meters tall and may not even be a man. Theories range from it being someone with a strange skin condition to a hermit obsessed with the end of the world. The only thing that could be creepier is a clown walking around in the woods, but that would never happen, right? Wrong reports have been made by some kids recently who said a clown was inviting them to follow them out into the woods in a small town in South Carolina, but surely it was just a story, right? There aren't really creepy clowns walking around out there randomly, right? Number 8. The Bunker. In the woods of northern Germany, a mysterious bunker was discovered by a couple who noticed some pipes sticking out of the ground. As they explored the place, they found flooded corridors filled with medical gloves, strange machinery, and heavy metal doors that had been violently ripped off their hinges. People have been wondering what happened in this bunker, what it was used for, and if any experiments got loose before it was abandoned. However, the authorities reportedly buried the entrance since the emergence of photographs of the place, adding to the mystery and preventing further exploration of this creepy location. But the truth is perhaps even more unsettling. It's most likely an old German or Soviet control bunker from the war. The pipes on top were simply for drawing air, while the internal machinery was designed to filter air and water for the occupants. Many people online also suggested that the doors were removed when the bunker was decommissioned to prevent people from getting trapped. Number 7. Dead animals. When someone finds a dead animal in the woods, they typically have one of 3 reactions: it's cool, disgusting, or fascinating. But what if you found a pile of more than 250 dead animals out in the woods? A pile of dogs, cats, rats, mice, deer, foxes, raccoons, and an exotic bird. Yes, that's just what was found in the woods in Virginia. What may have been even creepier is that many of the dogs and cats still had IV catheters in their legs, which indicates that they had been treated at a veterinary hospital before their demise. So how did they end up in the woods? Long story short, a company that was supposed to cremate all of these animals didn't do their jobs. Instead, they dumped them in the woods. It has yet to be revealed to the public exactly why they did that, but I can't think of a single good reason to do such a thing. Number 6. Breathing Earth. When people say that the Earth is alive, they don't mean it in the literal sense. However, a man in Canada has captured footage that makes it seem like the Earth is alive and breathing. He shared the eerie video on a Facebook group, but nobody has been able to figure out what exactly is going on in it. One theory is that it could be fungus causing the movement, or perhaps the shallow root system of the trees swaying in the wind. Carnivorous trees have been part of folklore for many years, but sometimes the truth can be stranger than fiction, and myths can have their roots in reality. By the way, if you enjoy our content, why not subscribe to our YouTube channel where we upload amazing fact-filled videos every day? Also, don't forget to click the bell icon to stay updated and not miss out on any interesting knowledge. Now let's get back to the topic at hand. Number 5. The mysterious cabin. While out marking trees on the nature preserve, a Californian worker stumbled across something unexpected. It was a cabin built from plywood that was carefully covered in plastic sheeting, leaves, and branches to protect it from the elements and keep it hidden. It was so well hidden, in fact, that if you were more than 100 feet away from it, you couldn't see it at all. Inside the cabin was a small living room and kitchen, complete with a small library and plenty of canned foods and spices. There was a bench, a rocking chair, a wood-burning stove, and a typewriter, all neatly arranged in the small space, and a raised loft area was a bet clearly. Someone was living here, even though there weren't any signs of travel to and from the cabin in the surrounding woods. The authorities were called in, and since it's illegal to live on public property, they put up a notice giving the owner a few days to vacate, but when they returned, when the time was up, they were astonished. The cabin was gone, not just the things inside, but the whole cabin itself. Once again, there were no signs of travel, which left everyone wondering how on earth the owner managed to carry these large pieces of wood and the heavy stove through the woods completely undetected. The only thing remaining that let the authorities know that someone had been there was a mark on the ground. It was the international symbol for squatters. Number 4. A gravestone. Throughout history, there have been numerous instances of graveyards or individual graves being discovered in forests. These graves sometimes belong to long-forgotten cemeteries overtaken by nature, or they may be isolated burials far from traditional churchyards. However, one peculiar case involves a gravestone that, while the body it marked rested in the proper cemetery, was found in the woods. A hiker known as River Wolf stumbled upon it, bringing to light the tragic story of the woman to whom it belonged. She was known as Mary Holmes during her time in Santa Cruz, California, though her real name remains a mystery. Mary had left her young daughter behind as she traveled west, possibly in search of treatment for tuberculosis. She eventually worked as a prostitute in a local brothel. Overwhelmed by grief, Mary took her own life and was buried in the churchyard with her headstone funded by her fellow brothel workers. Years later, the headstone was replaced as it was believed to have been destroyed by vandals. Yet, it was River Wolf who discovered it intact in the woods, far from its original location. To this day, the reason for its displacement and the identity of those responsible remain unknown. Number 3. Tongs nailed to Tress. It's common to see things like posters nailed to trees. But what about tongs? Well, that's exactly what happened in Brooklyn, New York, when visitors to Prospect Park found not one but 15 cow tongs nailed to trees along a path winding through the woods. If these huge fleshy tongs fastened to tree trunks with nails wasn't creepy enough, the likely reason behind it will make your flesh crawl. Cow tongues are actually part of rituals in several different cults by nailing them to trees. Someone was trying to silence their enemies. That just leaves me with 2 questions. Who performed this ritual and who were their enemies that they were trying to silence? I don't know any people with bovine enemies. Number 2. Explosives. Many items found in the woods are harmless, but a construction worker in Arkansas had a different experience when he discovered a live landmine from the Civil War, mistaking it for a cannonball. After realizing what it was, he contacted the authorities, leading to the evacuation of the neighborhood while the bomb squad and Air Force safely removed the mine. In a separate incident, a man rigged his motion-sensing wildlife cameras to explode if tampered with. When another person picked up one of these cameras and inserted batteries, it detonated, causing severe injury. The man who set up the booby trap camera was later killed in a confrontation with the police. leaving uncertainty about whether more dangerous devices are still out there. Among other eerie finds in the woods are a lone battered baby doll head, an abandoned campsite with a sleeping bag, food, and a teddy bear, and a shelter with duct tape and bloody clothes. Number 1. Strange statues. There are many strange statues that can be found in the woods of Great Britain, including ones that look like female body parts on wooded islands. However, those particular statues apparently disappeared after their discovery. Let's talk about another statue that can be found in the woods. At first glance, it looks like a group of aliens performing some kind of ritual. But the truth is a lot less exciting. This statue is just one of many that are part of an art exhibition called the Sculpture Park. Here, you can also find a blue woman holding an umbrella, a lone pair of wheels, and skeletons performing various tasks. If you intentionally visit the park, you'll probably enjoy most of the statues there. However, stumbling upon it by accident could leave you feeling creeped out, especially if it's at night. Which statue do you think was the creepiest? And what's the creepiest thing you've ever found in the woods? Let me know in the comments section down below, and thanks for watching.